Hey guys, new moon in the sign of Sagittarius, Sag cycle 2023. What is this cycle about? What is it going to do for us? What can we expect as we move through this next couple of weeks? And what role is it playing sort of in the greater unfolding cosmic blueprint that's coming into fruition right now? All of this and more, you guys, in our Sagittarius new moon report for today. Now, basics about our new moon in Sagittarius. First of all, a new moon, any new moon cycle, this is when we have the sun and the moon coming together in, any sign each month. It is a seed planting time. It is an intention setting time. It is a goal setting time. Any manifestations that you want to work to bring into fruition throughout the course of the month, this is the time to sort of like seed the intentions for those as well. And when we're talking about the sign of Sagittarius, this of course is a sign ruled by Jupiter. This is the new moon cycle each year that hosts our holiday season, and generally Sag season is usually a bit of a more like uplifting time of year, the holiday spirit. People are feeling generally more optimistic and more generous and more giving, all of these kind of like Sagittarius Jupiter themed qualities. Well, this year, you guys, we have all of that going on for sure, as we are in Sagittarius season, and this is just the general vibe of this time of year. But this year, it's like amplified in some pretty significant ways, and that is because our new moon in Sagittarius this year is ruled by the planet Jupiter, which, like I just got done describing, is responsible for a lot of the like general jovial celebratory moods and energies and stuff that are very present at this time of year typically. But this year we have Jupiter, the planet himself, absolutely running the show in terms of the transits that are going on as well. So not only are we in the season of the year that is ruled by Jupiter, but Jupiter is also like doing the most, okay? Making the most connections, like having the biggest energetic impact as well. So the ruler of the cycle is doing some pretty significant things in terms of personal planets, which means that the Jupiter energy, that we are accustomed to with our Sagittarius season each year is really going to be expanded. This is going to be a cycle that is about accelerating us somehow, moving us forward somehow, helping us to make some type of progress somehow, gains coming through in many different ways across the board. We have repeating patterns this cycle that are indicating, positive interactions, like productive meetings, negotiations, like good relations with others. I will say, and I've been talking about this through the past, basically ever since we got into the month of December, that with such a strong Jupiter influence, there is also a larger than normal capacity for taking things over the top, biting off more than we can chew, overspending, overinvesting, overcommitting, overindulging, feeling like we are kind of larger than life in this energy and acting accordingly. We do want to watch out for that. And another thing I will tell you, this is also a sort of unique new moon cycle because Mercury will be stationing or is stationing retrograde on the day of our Sag new moon in a trine to Jupiter, who is ruling the new moon cycle. So Mercury retrograde energy is going to be a significant feature of this new moon cycle as well, which means that, the investments that we do make or the purchases that we make or the commitments that we make, what we're getting involved in is going to need to be probably like viewed through a second set of eyes, or we're going to need to make some revisions or, reevaluations or revaluations or, reassessments of things that we involve ourselves with and sort of now, as we move through the rest of the month. But like I said, the outcome of whatever adaptations we need to make, whatever choices we need to make, changes in decisions, whatever changes need to go on, likely to be even better than we initially thought. Okay. So, all is not lost if you think that you're getting involved in something that is like this really great opportunity, and then, something happens and, there needs to be some type of change or revision. Somehow moving through the rest of the month, things are likely to fall into place or happen in such a way that actually whatever change needs to be made helps things to be even better somehow. So we have very positive energy, we've had very positive energy, basically, like I said, since we entered the month of December, and it's going to carry us through the whole month. But there is just this indication as well that, we really may also be rethinking some things. And it's like rethinking maybe like what it is that we really want, what it is that we really value. And as I said, this cycle is about like accelerating us forward in some way, and it's going to most likely be in some new direction, maybe some towards some goal that we've been working towards, or starting something new in some capacity, maybe really moving forward finally in terms of something we've been trying to get started but we've been dealing with some resistance or blockage or in some type of way. Like, this is the type of thing that we are talking about, and there's likely to be some type of like change of mind or change of preference, or like I said, revaluation or something that is contributing to our ability to start finally moving forward with something somehow, or just accelerating our progress in terms of something maybe that we've been working towards or that we've been wanting to get going. Okay, let's talk about some of the basics of this new moon, or basic data. First of all, there's some crazy numerology that is again playing out with this new moon. We are talking about ones, twos, and threes, okay? Progressions happening in order, things happening according to a divine schedule. However, the way that the numerology is actually coming together, I feel like it's talking about the acceleration that's going on right now, perhaps even like doubling our efforts somehow, like doubling our progress somehow. And there's a huge emphasis, you guys, I will also tell you, on the number 6, which is generally seen as a number that is about, harmony and flow and service and love. And I just feel like this new moon cycle is going to be doing some positive things for us. Divine intervention, like I said, I do feel like is going to be a feature of sort of just like the magic that is unfolding throughout the course of this month. If you guys watched my December overview, I was talking about the month of December generally this year being quite a magical period of time when things could be sort of just like miraculously happening and, falling into place somehow. And this new moon cycle, I feel like, is falling sort of right in alignment with that pattern. And again, something about harmony, something about balance, something about needing to go with the flow, but they're also just being this sort of like loving spirit, or the gifts that we are receiving or the gifts that we are giving throughout the course of this cycle. Reciprocal, like giving and receiving in such a way that fills us up, both on both ends, a feeling of fulfillment and wholeness inside, with Jupiter still retrograde, from what we're giving, but also from what we're receiving. Okay, but anyways, back to this numerology. This new moon in Sagittarius is happening on Tuesday, December 12th at 23:32 Universal Time, which translates into 6:32 p.m. Eastern Time. It's happening at 20 degrees, 40 minutes of the sign of Sagittarius. In terms of Sabian symbol placement, that will put us at 21 degrees of Sag, because we always round up when we're reading the Sabians. And to me, this date, this time, this degree range, I'm just seeing 12, 12, 23, 1, 2, 3s everywhere. I'm seeing 2, 3, 3, 2. To me, 2 3s, 3 2s, 1 2, 1 2, 2 3s. Like, there's just, when we add these numbers together, when we combine these numbers, I'm seeing, like I said, progressions, 1 2 3s, things happening in a proper order, in a certain order, like the natural next evolution of things coming to pass. But then I'm also seeing these 3s being doubled into the 6, which really appears to me, the way the numerology is coming together, I feel like 6 is the number that is representing numerologically our current Sagittarius cycle. And the way that I'm perceiving this numerology, it's like we've got progressions, we've got the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, 1s and 2s, those add to 3s, and then we've got 2s and 3s, 2 3s or 3 2s, those are both 6s. The degree placement, 20 degrees, 40 minutes, that's a 6 right there. 21 degrees in terms of the Sabian symbol placement, that's a 3. This whole thing is happening 23:32. Okay, there's a mirror, there's a reflection, but Eastern Time, where I'm doing this, that turns into a 6, and still 23:32, I'm seeing 2 3s and 3 2s. There's also 6s. Like, everything is coming down to a 6, but we're starting with the 1, the 2, and the 3, and then it's doubling. at least in my interpretation of the way that these numbers are speaking to me. So you may or may not be perceiving it the same way. I mean, numerology is quite flexible, but in terms of the way that I personally read energy, without even looking at the astrology, just knowing the basic data of our new moon chart as it's presenting, this is talking about a natural progression of things happening in like a divine order, sort of, you know what I mean? But also doubled, acceleration, multiplied by a factor of 2. And so before we even get into the astrological analysis, just on face value, I feel like the patterning of these numbers is indicating accelerated movement forward along the lines of like the proper development of something new. We're starting with a 1, 2, 3. Like, this is not a progression like a 7, 8, 9 or something. Like, this is not taking things to completion. This is like a process of starting something completely new that is being supported by the universe right now. And again, like we're landing on the 6. So this is about flow. This is about reciprocity, like a balanced give and take. This is about balance. This is about harmony. It's about love. Like 6 is a number that has a divine harmonization sort of in alignment with it. And I do again feel like divine harmony, magic in the air, things again, like I know I've said this already and we're just getting started, but it's like there is definitely like a higher plan that is unfolding throughout the course of this Sag cycle, and it could be happening in just some more of these like magical or miraculous or like synchronistic type of ways. Okay, so now let's start talking about the astrology itself. We've talked about the data of the chart and the number patterns that are presenting themselves in association with that. The astrology is interesting. In terms of aspects specifically to the new moon, we're looking at the nodes, you guys, which is also very interesting in the context, like I, sort of just got done describing with the numerology of this being a cycle that is moving us forward somehow. The new moon itself is in a trine to the north node in the sign of Aries. We have a fire sign trine going on with the sun and the moon coming to alignment in Sag, trining the north node of the moon, the destiny point in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, okay, which is we're going to talk about as well. Mars is also currently in the sign of Sagittarius. So one thing that we know this new moon is doing for us, and as I said, we will be talking more about this as we get through the report, but there is a process of personal expansion, personal growth that is underway this cycle as well, that is doing just that I have spoken about previously, moving us forward, like, because that is one of the primary themes of this entire new moon, which you will come to find, and I will explain thoroughly as we get through this, okay? But we've got the trine to the north node of the moon, so we know that what is being universally cosmically facilitated for us this new moon cycle is an ability to release ourselves from something and have the freedom to move forward in some type of way. Of course, the north node and the south node are always in a polar opposition to each other. The north node is the destiny point, okay? The north node is where we're going, where we're growing, what we're learning next, our next phase of growth and evolution as a human collective. The south node, in polar opposition to that, is karma, is the past, is what we need to let go of and detach from in order to go in this new direction and to learn these new lessons and to go through this phase of personal growth. And they're always directly opposite from each other. So when a planet is aspecting one, a planet is also therefore aspecting another. The way that this particular planetary configuration is coming together, we have a fire sign trine with the north node in the sign of Aries, the south node therefore in the sign of Libra, which is the polar opposite, the oppositional sign to the sign of Aries, the axis Aries Libra. Those two signs oppose each other. So when we've got a north node Aries, we automatically have a south node in the sign of Libra. So while we have a fire sign trine going on, that puts the aspect between the new moon and the south node, what we need to detach from, the release point, the karmic patterns that we are, freeing ourselves from in this freedom-oriented Sagittarius energy that is helping us to move forward. We've got a sextile aspect that is applying there. So, and sextile aspects also help assist us in things. So we've got a facilitation, okay, to move forward towards this phase of personal growth. And we also simultaneously have cosmic assistance and support to let go of, maybe in the sign of Libra, like an old identity that we used to present to the world, or, you know, old friend groups or social circles or relationships that we've got to let go of right now in order to go through this phase of personal growth and sort of a re-identification with the self that is also represented through a cycle where Mercury is stationing retrograde. Okay, so, you know, with the new moon happening in a trine sextile to the nodes of the moon, we know that, again, like, the nodes of the moon classically, you know, have to do with things unfolding according to like a proper phase of evolution, like divine intervention, things happening according to a higher plan. And this being the fundamental aspect to our new moon itself, we know that we have come to the point in our 2023 year where the gears of the divine plan are turning and codes are being activated that are making things happen in the way that they need to, right? This 1, 2, 3 energy, this fresh start energy, moving forward with something new, gaining momentum, accelerating in such a way that actually like doubles our progress, perhaps somehow, by the time that we get to the end of the cycle, or by the time that whatever, you know, we are beginning to work on right now comes into a greater state of full fruition and stuff like that, a state of manifest growth. Okay, so all of that, and we've got other things to talk about as well. Like I said, Jupiter is running the entire show this new moon cycle. Jupiter is in aspect trine also to Mercury retrograde, in opposition to Venus, and Mars is in a trine to Chiron. We got other aspects that we're going to talk about as well, but everything, it's like these repeating patterns once again, all kind of boiling down to the same themes of the new moon trine, North Node in Aries, personal growth, being released to pursue some like new journey, new that we're being called towards. Activating destiny. If you guys have been following my channel, I've been talking a lot about the North Node in the sign of Aries and this active phase of destiny, this discovering a greater purpose and needing to step into that pretty much by any means necessary throughout the course of this next year or so, and the whole transit of the nodes through Aries and Libra, which is something that we've been dealing with since this past summer. So, and this where we're at right now in the Sagittarius season with the new moon coming into the trine with that North Node in Aries, this is, I'm telling you guys, like, this will be a period of time where we all find ourselves in some capacity, in some area of our lives, moving forward, making gains, overcoming like a past challenge or a past weakness, gaining confidence and feeling like, you know, we've got to accomplish something somehow in some area of our lives, and actually finding it to happen with like a relative amount of ease, actually, maybe considering what we've been up against throughout the course of this year, trying to get things to move forward somehow. We are definitely being supported in our process of starting something new, you know, going on an adventure, taking a risk, starting a new journey in some capacity, some type of mission. All right. This is all it's, you know, it's interesting because we're in Sag season. So you would think, and Jupiter is so prominent, right? So you would think it would be all about, you know, the Jupiter energy right now, which it is, but it's ultimately, the Jupiter energy right now is ultimately all working actually towards the Mars energy, who is in Sagittarius right now. So that makes sense. But the new moon cycle trining the North Node in Aries, ruled by Mars, who's currently in Sagittarius. Like, it really is about this personal growth, is what it's all boiling down to, and gaining some type of freedom to become more on some level in and of ourselves. So that is, honestly, I feel like what all of this is boiling down to. It's going to be manifesting along a lot of different ways. Also, you know, this is likely to actually be a very like business oriented new moon. We're going to be like I said, reevaluating and revaluing a lot of things having to do with the way that we are dealing with people and investments and commitments and like deals generally. We're going to be rethinking the value and the benefit of things in the context of how we are moving forward. It's sort of energy also. It's like, okay, I know that I'm going in this new direction, but like, what am I going to take with me, and what am I going to leave behind, and what am I sort of unsure of right now? And again, like maybe reevaluating the purpose or the value of certain things that we've been carrying in the context of where we're going next, who we're becoming next, how we're redefining ourselves, this mission that we've got to go on, and what will provide like what will be a valuable asset for us, or who will be a valuable asset for us as we move forward towards this new journey, this new phase of our lives. We're looking for true purpose, okay? True purpose, true value, true wealth, true potential when we have a Sagittarius season going on, all about truth. And also, this is something else we're going to be talking about, Jupiter opposite Venus in Scorpio. As a facet of the energy playing out this cycle. And we will talk more about that specific aspect as we move through this report. But all of that being said, you guys, I want to show you guys, I want to go sort of like step by step through the energy of this new moon, the way the chart is coming together, how I'm reading it, so you guys understand, where I'm really pulling all of this from, okay? And so let's break it down and let's simplify things sort of to their basic level, so that we can then build upon it, so that we can have a thorough understanding of not only, how this energy is functioning now, but the role it's playing essentially in our unfolding cosmic blueprint, past, present, and future, of course, because that is what we're doing on this channel. You guys, we're never looking at astrology in isolation. We are always looking at it in the context of the bigger picture, where we've been, where we're going, and how we can use the energy that we are in to, maximize our positive experiences and help ourselves to consciously, create what we're moving towards going forward. This is also a period of time where a lot of this process of like redefining self and rediscovering self and realigning with self and personal growth and self-mastery that is represented through the energy that is coming together this cycle and moving through 2024. A lot of this is honestly going to be about just that, like teaching us how to be more conscious of what we are creating in our reality, and helping us to, come to a place of self-mastery where we are consciously creating our experiences from a greater level of awareness, and being less at sort of like the whim of our subconscious programming, which of course has been a very dominant feature of the age that we are coming out of right now. And while a lot of the energy, again, like that is happening right now, the Chiron energy, the Black Moon energy, a lot of the Jupiter energy right now as well, the Neptune energy, a lot of the planetary energy we're dealing with at this point in time in our shift of ages is happening to help us gain a greater sense of awareness of our own personal power to create the life that we experience, detached from negative subconscious programming or like unhealed trauma that we have been harboring within. So we're going in a very positive direction. And again, personal growth, personal expansion in alignment with some personal truth is the whole, like what I feel like all of this is coming back down to. But let's talk about, you guys. Okay, we're talking about a cycle that is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet that is associated with truth, wisdom, belief, faith, confidence, good luck, good fortune. Jupiter is traditionally the great benefic when Jupiter is present. I mean, it's expansion, right? But it's also truth, wisdom, a bird's eye view perspective, like seeing the bigger picture about things. And it's also about like philosophies and journeys, long distance travel, adventure, and the freedom to be able to expand and to move and to, learn and grow and all that type of stuff when we're talking about the Jupiter energy and we're talking about the sign of Sagittarius. Truth, freedom, expansion, belief, philosophy, long journeys ruled both by Jupiter and Sagittarius. And right now, currently, we have both the sun, the moon, and Mars also in the sign of Sagittarius. Mars is the energy of the self. So both luminaries and Mars, this is indicating just right there that this is a season of some type of personal expansion. Again, Mars is the ego, so we do need to watch out for overinflated ego, God complexes, thinking that, we're all that there is and that nobody else's thoughts or opinions or beliefs matter. There can definitely be a very dogmatic like belief type of situation going on. We've got strong Jupiter energy in Mars, and the ego can get out of control. So again, we don't want to overindulge. We don't want to take things over top. We want to be to the best of our ability as self-disciplined as we can be in our actions. However, this is also indicating just this very like exuberant, jovial, like free-spirited energy, okay? And also Mars in the Sagittarius, this is like very blunt, okay? This is just sort of like that, not necessarily a whole lot of preparation going on behind the scenes about stuff, things sort of just like happening in the moment. And it's a big action oriented time of year. Again, big forward movement likely to be going on. And then of course we're talking about this new moon happening in a trine to the north node of the moon, moving us forward in alignment with some type of divine plan that is underway, the journey and the adventure to come that we are moving towards, this new beginning, this new start, this new experience when we're talking about the Sagittarius energy. And of course the north node being the sign of Aries, we've already danced all around and through this whole concept, but that will be the personal journey, expanding self, overcoming personal limitations that previously had held us back, okay? Overcoming personal weaknesses, gaining a sense of personal confidence that helps us to, overcome the things that may have held us back in the past. And it's coming through again, like over and over and over again. There's definitely going to be likely an informational component, what we're learning, what we're talking about, or what we're deciding we do or don't want anymore, that are playing into this as well. And we will get into it. Now, Mars, as I said, happens to be quite an important planet this Sag cycle, even though Jupiter is absolutely running the show, but it's all coming back to the north node in the sign of Aries, in my opinion. And all the gains that we're making are for the purpose of this personal growth, this destiny activation, this mission, this journey, this adventure, this new beginning, this new redefinition of self, overcoming self-mastery, whatever it is, okay? And to emphasize that even more, all right, God Spirit Universe happens to have Mars in a trine to Chiron as this energy is coming together. So while we are dealing with the new moon itself happening in a trine to the north node, talking about this forward evolution, this forward progress, divinely ordained, represented through the way the energy is functioning right now, Mars rules the position of the north node, okay? Mars rules, this is the planet that has everything to do with that next phase of growth, with that forward movement, with the fuel sort of behind that. Mars in the sign of Sagittarius, of course, again, emphasizing the Jupiter-Mars energy, this big energy that is propelling us forward, but Mars also being in a trine to Chiron, the wounded healer, teacher, master archetype, also in the sign of Aries. If you guys have been watching my channel, I've been talking about, one of the ways that we know that this north node transit through the sign of Aries is playing out over this, it started last summer, and it's, we got another probably a bit over a year left in this energy. I've been talking about how, self-mastery, overcoming states of victimhood, overcoming personal weaknesses, overcoming and releasing ourselves from like old wounds and old traumas that have defined us in the past and held us back in some type of way is also emblematic of what we're going to be going with and dealing with over this next year and a half. A personal hero's journey, being the knight in shining armor in our own story, coming through to save our own day, okay? Like that's another way that this personal growth energy right now is playing its role to function actually over the course of the rest of the time that we've got Mars, or that we've got the north node, in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, and this new moon cycle activating that energy in the trine, facilitating our progress moving forward. This is going to be significant. Again, this window that we're in right now, this new moon and Sagittarius cycle, is going to be significant in our overall transit of the north node through the sign of Aries. What's happening now is of some type of primary importance or significance in terms of what we will ultimately gain at the end of the day from this entire year and a half transit. I hope I haven't lost you guys. I feel like I've been a bit all over the place. I hope that this is all making sense. But, what I'm trying to say is that we have Mars for this particular new moon cycle, considering the significance of this new moon cycle in this phase of personal growth that we're going through right now, right? in almost an exact trine to Chiron, some type of like powerful healing energy that is coming through as a function of the energy moving us forward, that is helping us to, again, like overcome some personal weaknesses, overcome previous states of victimhood, heal some old wounds that have been lingering within us that maybe have been keeping us from seeing ourselves clearly or holding ourselves back in some type of a way. You see what I mean? And so the fact that we also happen to have Mars ruling the position of the North Node in a trine to Chiron, also in the sign of Aries, Mars' sign for this new moon cycle as well. Powerful healing energy coming through, helping us to conquer that which essentially has been unhealed or holding us back in the past. So again, just like another facet of how this energy is repeating over and over what it's doing for us. Like, we're moving forward and we're growing, but we're doing so because there's some type of healing going on within us, and also because of some type of like perspective that we are arriving at, or some knowledge or information that we're gaining, or because we're at the right place at the right time and we witness something or we hear something that changes something for us somehow and maybe facilitates this process of healing that is helping us to overcome, you know, things within ourselves that have been holding us back to help us move forward. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, and definitely a primary feature of our new moon chart is the fact that Jupiter ruling our cycle, Sag cycle, is in a tight trine to Mercury stationing retrograde in the sky for our new moon cycle. Okay, Mercury retrograde, everybody knows what Mercury retrograde energy brings, and you know, I give Mercury some added prominence right now as well for this Mercury retrograde, because we're talking about a Sagittarius cycle. What's the Sagittarius polarity, you guys? The Sagittarius polarity is Gemini. Gemini, Sag axis, they oppose one another. So the oppositional energy to Sagittarius always and forever is Gemini energy. Gemini energy is ruled by Mercury. So we have both rulers of the Gemini Sag axis energy in a trine together for this new moon while Mercury stations retrograde. And we have all the other stuff that I've been talking about, and you know, we know where this is all moving us towards, what it's all boiling down to, and what the ultimate outcome will be, which is this personal growth and this like healing that is helping us to accelerate our forward progress somehow. Now with Mercury, okay, Mercury's in Capricorn. Mercury's in sign of Capricorn in a trine. So we've got an earth sign trine. Jupiter is in Taurus right now, you guys. Mercury is in Capricorn and Venus is in Scorpio. Venus we'll be talking about next. Venus is in the opposition actually to the Jupiter energy. But Mercury in the sign of Capricorn, stationing retrograde, trining Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. Okay, first of all, this is an earth sign trine. This is telling us like this energy, this Mercury energy, retrograde energy, first of all, it's with Jupiter, so it's an expanded Mercury retrograde energy, right? This is a very big Mercury retrograde presence that we're going to be dealing with. So, you know, just maybe keep that in mind. This is not necessarily the best time to make huge purchases. I said, you know, if you guys have been watching my videos this past couple of days leading up to this new moon, I was saying, you know, if you can get your, you know, your shopping done before the 12th, do it, because we want to be really careful with, you know, major purchases, major deals, investments, commitments that we're making on the new moon, and you know, moving forward in this Mercury stationed retrograde energy. This is energy for reconsidering, reevaluating, reassessing things. A lot of times, you know, the things that we engage in or purchase, technology and stuff that we get, like big investments that happen during a Mercury retrograde, come next Mercury retrograde, there's going to need to be some type of, you know, reorientation. Mercury retrograde is the period of time when we want to, you know, reevaluate our choices and our investments and commitments, not necessarily when we want to be making new ones. Happening in the sign of Capricorn, this is very business deal negotiation, agreement, you know, material, financially oriented, reevaluating things to do with business, career, finance, material possessions, things to do also with like the style, the structure, the build, the form of something, also authority and control systems when we're dealing with this sign of Capricorn. But with, Jupiter in the trine and this being the Mercury retrograde energy, Mercury is a messenger planet. Mercury is thoughts, ideas, information, communication, trips, transactions, also deals, negotiations. Mercury, it also is about twos of things. It doubles things. It is about polarities and oppositions as well. But with Mercury and Jupiter in a trine together, this is definitely emphasizing the Sagittarius Gemini energy, okay? But changing our thoughts, changing our beliefs about something. Perhaps our thoughts or our beliefs about the value of something, or how much we want to invest in something, or, the potential of something as well. And why am I bringing this up? Because as I said, the other aspect that Jupiter is making is an opposition to Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Jupiter right now, as I said, is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Jupiter is actually, for all of this, in Venus's sign. So that's another, another dimension of this energy. While there's a very strong, like Mars, personal growth type of energy going on, it's also very, very directly related to like our perception of true value, true worth, true potential, what is held deep within, and how we're seeing that perhaps, or how we're viewing that, or how we are valuing that also at this point in time. With Jupiter and Venus in an opposition, first of all, this is energy that tends towards extreme excess, extreme indulgence, extreme exaggeration. It can be a very, very, very stubborn energy as well, especially along the things to do with more feminine energy when we were talking about these fixed signs and Jupiter expanding things, and in the opposition to Venus. Venus in Scorpio is all about desire for like deep, intense, passionate connection. It can be sort of an obsessive energy. People could really be sort of like obsessing about what they want and figuring out how to get it in this energy, which is probably going to go quite well. People are going to be receiving and finding ways to get what they want. But with, the Mercury aspect of things too, and the trine to Jupiter, it's going to have in the Capricorn element, the earth sign element of things, I do feel like more so it's going to be about like seeing the truth of the value of something from like a deeper level, maybe with like x-ray vision, maybe like before, we thought we wanted something, but now we're seeing it from like a deeper or more penetrating angle or something like that, and we're realizing like, oh, maybe this isn't the right match for me, maybe what I thought I wanted is not what I actually truly want, because we've just got this very like changeable mental energy going on, definitely like, but it's with Jupiter. So it's like we're seeing things from a new perspective. It's like some type of big information, or again, being at the right place at the right time to gain. This is all about gains, like some perspective, some conversation, some type of synchronicity. Also, this genuine like magic in the air. It could literally be like divine interventions or like miracles or magic happening that is blowing our mind or expanding our mind or making us believe in the impossible. And, that type of thing as well perhaps could be what is causing us to let go of one thing and move forward in a new direction. It's going to be different. There's a million ways that this energy could play out. But again, like coming back to true worth, true value, discovering, real beauty, real potential. Truth and beauty are both very strong themes. I feel like throughout this Sagittarius cycle, we are going to be making the good choice, the good decision, even though things may seem a bit up in the air, or we may feel like we really need to reevaluate some things. Like I said in the beginning, where we land at the end of the day on all of this, it's going to be where we want to be, and things are actually going to work out better than we had originally anticipated. But, something that we're gaining a true understanding of the value of is likely to be directly impacting choices and decisions, making us reconsider or reevaluate or revalue what we were getting involved in. Or, again, this could have to do with even the way that like projects and stuff are coming together, like creative pursuits and endeavors, the things that we're also like, learning right now, the way that our mind is working, mindset shifts and perspectives, discovering true worth, and changing our mind about something as we prepare to move forward. But again, like I continue to say, at the end of the day, whatever this is, is going to be promoting our growth in a positive direction somehow. People are likely to be honestly like exceptionally enthusiastic and optimistic throughout the course of this new moon cycle. It is our Sag cycle. It is the holiday season and the holiday spirit. You know, we're likely to really be feeling that way this 2023 Sag season. And it really does seem like positive things are happening, especially again in terms of business, money, material things, deals, partnerships, like the earth sign energy, okay? Like things physically are likely to be working in our favor in our actual ongoings. But there is just this very, with the Capricorn energy and the earth sign trine with Jupiter, it is a very like business, finance, project, partnership oriented energy themes that I feel like are the most heavily indicated throughout the course of this cycle. Things seem to be expanding, accelerating, and moving forward, and they definitely are. But there is still this element, you know, like I've said, I do have to, you know, wave the red flag of caution on terms of inflation to all of this somehow, or an exaggeration, and some level perhaps also of distortion in our ability to view things for what they really are right now. Things are not as they seem, both for better and for worse in this energy. You know, there is still this element or this layer of illusion or fantasy or idealism or rose-colored glasses that could be perhaps conflicting with our ability to see things clearly somehow. The last element that I really want to talk about in regards to our new moon energy is a square to Neptune that is also going on. This is actually energy that we are going to be building into this week following our new moon. And when we take the new moon in a square to Neptune and add it to Mercury stationing retrograde in our new moon energy, like there is a need this cycle for sure. Here we are again with the themes of doubles, okay? Like double check everything before taking action, before moving forward. Also, the more perspectives and angles and viewpoints you can acquaint yourself with and see things through before making a choice or a decision or deciding to act or move forward somehow, the better off you'll be. First of all, with the square to Neptune, of course, Neptune is illusions and fantasies. It can bring sort of like confusion and disorientation. When Neptune energy is operating, it distorts our perception of reality. And this happening in a square to both luminaries, I'm telling you again, you guys, like this is enhancing the Mercury retrograde energy, and we are likely just to not be able to truly see things for what they really are. So that's what I'm saying, you know, double check everything in this energy, talking about doubling things, and also viewing things from alternative or multiple perspectives, trying to see a different angle at things before we just like rush ahead. I think this is going to be very beneficial as well. I'm saying that specifically aside from, you know, the Gemini and Mercury retrograde angle of things, which is also indicating the same thing, and, you know, the Neptune square as well, but the Sabian symbol placement of this new moon, you guys, happening, like I said, at exactly 20 degrees, 40 minutes of the sign of Sagittarius. So we're going to be reading the Sabian symbol for 21 degrees of Sagittarius. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Sabian symbols, what they are is a group of symbols that describes each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever a planet is at a specific point, you know, discharging a degree, we can look to the symbol and just gain a greater, you know, some additional information perhaps about what this aspect, what that transit is doing for us. So I always like to read the symbolism associated with the transits that are present in our astrology. So, and when we read the Sabian symbols, we always round up a degree because we read the incoming wave of energy, not the wave of energy that is like going out and dissipating. So 2040 of Sag, we're going to read 21 of Sag for the Sabian symbol. That symbol is a child and a dog wearing borrowed eyeglasses. So, you know, trying to see things, as I said, from maybe like fresh eyes. Also, this is the child. This is a new perspective, maybe with that level of enthusiasm or excitement or even like kind of purity perhaps, but fresh eyes, okay, unbiased from varying viewpoints though. The child and the dog with borrowed eyeglasses, like maybe like, you know, trying to see whatever is going on from a differing perspective, and, you know, all the while simultaneously realizing, you know, the child and the dog with borrowed eyeglasses, we may not still fully understand what's happening, even if we are, you know, allowing ourselves the opportunity to view things from an array of perspectives, okay? But with this symbol present for this specific new moon, I do feel like being as observant as possible will lead us in the right direction, will lead us to the right information. And with the trine going on with the north node to the new moon, and also Jupiter ruling the moon and trine to Mercury, like there is an element of divine timing for sure. Being at the right place at the right time to gain something. Definitely a major theme of the way that this energy is just organically, naturally operating. This also, okay, we need to keep in mind with a square going on between the new moon, sun and moon in Sagittarius, and Neptune in the sign of Pisces. This could definitely also bring up conflicts regarding narratives, like conflicting narratives, belief systems, and ideologies, causing confusion, causing disturbances, disorienting things perhaps. Neptune and Pisces, Sagittarius luminaries, this is an inherent, these signs inherently bring up conflicts when we're dealing with the square between Pisces and Sagittarius about beliefs and about, dreams versus reality and stuff like that. Illusion versus truth. Sagittarius is about truth. Pisces is about the dream and the illusion. So in the squares, these bring up conflicts. There could be, maybe some illusion or some fear that we've been imagining that we find the truth out about and then we overcome, and that helps to release us in some way. That could be sort of how this energy is functioning. It could be bringing up some type of inner conflict between previous beliefs and like a current truth. This could also indicate cognitive dissonance, you guys, and projection and stuff like that. Mental health issues. However, with a strong Jupiter energy, things are going to be going pretty well. Nobody's going to be having too many issues, other than maybe like the issues of being like too over the top, too overinflated, like manic about things, okay? That's, I feel like, where like taking things way overboard. If there's a tendency towards like the mental illness in this energy, I feel like that's the direction it's going to go. With the Neptune square, this is like dealing in extreme Mercury retrograde energy. Not only do we have Mercury retrograde himself trining Jupiter, which expands things, so we've already got expanded Mercury retrograde, and then also with the square to Neptune, confusion, like I said, disturbances, misunderstandings, miscommunications, things being like lost in translation, people being very, also could be like a type of more like passive aggressive energy we have going on right now. But honestly, overall, super powerful moon for personal healing, moving forward with a redefined sense of values, priorities, purpose, potential, and actually belief in ourselves to make things happen. This, I do feel like this moon is restoring on some level, like maybe a belief in, anything can be possible, or, returning like a sense of imagination where imagination or opportunity may have been lost in the past. Personal growth, expansion, of course, important meetings and connections, something that broadens our mind or alters our perspective, eye-opening, mind-opening cycle, bringing forth valuable, unexpected opportunities for growth and just growth and opportunity generally. Don't take things to excess, like I've been saying, you guys. Value also. Value that which comes to you now. Gratitude. We don't want to squander things. This is also energy where there could be like such an influx right now that we sort of maybe like take for granted that which is coming in because there could be such an abundance of it. We don't want to do that, okay? We don't want to allow ourselves to get sort of like caught in, the surplus of what could be coming in right now and then squander something that, may be valuable to us in the future. This is a season of giving and receiving, of course, it always is, but it really is this year. Divine intervention, things falling into place. This is a mutable cycle as well, you guys. The flow, okay? Go with the flow, getting in the flow. Like I said, we've got lots of trines going on. This is facilitated energy. This is things falling into place. This is the divine flow of things. And then we've got this number 6, which is also about being in the flow, getting in the universal flow of the cosmic blueprint in the way that it's unfolding right now. Cultivate gratitude, you guys. Being in alignment with the resonance and the frequency of gratitude right now, I feel like is going to exponentially like expand what we are receiving in the positive orientation of the energy as it comes to us right now. This truly is probably the most wonderful time of the year. You know, of course it is in the context of the holiday season, but just generally in 2023, this whole year, like this is the most beautiful energy I've seen all year. Peace, harmony, generosity are likely to reign supreme all cycle. People are going to be celebrating. People are going to be very jovial. People are going to be getting along. There will probably be some beautiful reunions or occasions as well. We also have Mercury and Venus. I said Mercury is trining Jupiter. Venus is opposing Jupiter, both aspecting ruler of this cycle, but they're also in a sextile with each other, which is letting us know, you know, conversations, interactions are going to go well, where sometimes there could be like strife interpersonally, conflict in relationships and stuff like that. We are likely to see less of that throughout this cycle with Mercury and Venus also like in a harmonious alignment with one another and in their aspects to Jupiter. And they're at interesting degrees as well. We have Mercury for our new moon at 9 degrees stationed of the sign of Capricorn. That Sabian symbol is an angel carrying a harp. And we also have Venus at 10 degrees Scorpio. A fellowship supper reunites old comrades. So with them also at this degree, you know, and these degrees, an aspect to Jupiter and an aspect, positive aspect to each other as well. This is very, very amicable energy, pleasant conversations and interactions and relating. This is supportive of deals, negotiations, agreements, and stuff like that. And there is a desire for peace. There is a desire for beauty. There is a desire for truth. And this number 6, again, being exemplified by the Venus Mercury energy in the trine to Jupiter and the opposition to Jupiter, which is also indicating a greater than normal vibration just collectively of love, beauty, balance, service, and flow. All of these themes and concepts associated with the number 6 frequency, which is numerologically the number, the way I'm seeing it, of this month as well. This is a cycle of God's love manifest in 3D experience, give and receive. That's what I'm looking at, you guys. And of course, it is all coming back to the universal support we have right now to move forward in this new mission, on this new journey, you know, redefining self and activating destiny somehow for us. We are being super supported by a higher power, and wish fulfillment is on the table for us this cycle as well. Information that we gain, some truth that comes through, or even again, like this overcoming of previous weaknesses or internal conflicts that puts us in a greater state of self-assuredness and self-empowerment, helping us to move forward towards some type of wish fulfillment, some type of, you know, release from things that were holding us back in the past, accelerated progress, and doubling our gains somehow. So that's what I'm going to say, you guys. I feel like this report was all over the place. I'm hoping that that's just in my head, a function of this Neptune square energy, and this was not as like confusing as I feel like it was coming out of my mouth. But yeah, it's going to be, we got good stuff going on. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, Spirit, Universe. What is one additional piece of information, guidance? What should our mantra be for this cycle? What do we need to keep in mind while this energy is unfolding and we are moving through the energy that is coming through for us today? It says, stop, don't argue. Sorry for the crazy lighting going on right now as well. I'm recording, actually I happen to be recording at a different time of day than I usually do, and the light is like shining in through the windows at a different angle, and that's why it's like all crazy right now. I'm like trying to find ways to sit so it doesn't blind me. Okay, stop, don't argue. The Lord shall fight for you and ye shall hold your peace. Exodus 14:14. Don't fight, don't argue. Rest in the assurance God is working for you on this matter. Relax, let go, and know a divine solution takes place, right? Harmony will return, and believe now as if you already have it before you. Again, this number 6, this flow, this balance, this peace, this harmony, we're moving in a good direction. This divine intervention, the hand of God pulling the strings, like things are what was it that I wrote down? The cycle of God's love manifests in the 3D. Like, that's what I feel like this is coming through. And we don't need to fight battles this cycle. Like, things are going to be handled on a higher level, and there's going to be, you know, things falling into place to help remove like obstructions to our progress, or help us to overcome things in ways that we couldn't have imagined. Divine intervention, all that. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. That's what the advice is, and it's right in alignment with everything else that seems to be coming through for us this cycle. So that's what I have to say, you guys. That's how I feel like the Sag cycle is coming together for us. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments. I'm so grateful for your presence here. It really is meaningful to me when you guys let me know your experiences out there, and if they are lining up, when you have things going on that are lining up with what I'm talking about. Please let me know in my comment section below. Like I said, I really value knowing what's going on with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I have, like I said, if you want to know what's on this whiteboard, I post it in a Facebook group that I have that is linked in my description box below. And come back with me on Wednesday, or maybe, yes, on Wednesday, you guys. I was unsure for a minute whether I was going to put this video out on Monday or Tuesday, but I'm going to put it out on Monday, as I always put out a video on Monday, even though this full moon is on Tuesday. And then we will come back together on Wednesday to talk about the energy moving through the week. So I will be back on Wednesday, you guys. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you next time. Have a beautiful full moon, new moon. Sorry, you guys. Beautiful new moon, everybody. And until next time, bye.